Here I am once again with another episode of Living in Denver. My name is Adam, and if this is the first time watching one of these videos, welcome. I make videos every week and share with people that potentially are out of state just a little bit more about what makes Denver, the Mile High City, so special. So if you are considering moving to Denver, you're in the right spot. If you haven't yet, my email, my phone number, and website are listed down here below. Feel free to reach out at any time if you're ever interested in connecting so I can just learn a little bit more about what you're looking for and hopefully provide some value to you and share a little bit more about why I've chosen to live in Denver, Colorado for my entire life, 40 years. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite neighborhoods in Denver, Colorado. So you're not going to want to miss this. I've got some really fun historic facts as well as just some really good information if you're somebody that maybe doesn't know too much yet about Denver. So you're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned. All right, as I said earlier, today we're going to be sharing a few of my personal favorite neighborhoods that are close to all the action and excitement of downtown Denver. So if you're somebody that's a young professional or maybe just a person or a family that loves to be around where all the new up-and-coming restaurants and bars and nightlife is located, these are the spots you're going to want to live. And if you haven't realized yet, I am a licensed real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. My name is Adam Lang and I work for eXp Realty. My phone number, my email, my website, everything's listed down here below. I'm available 24/7. So if you're just somebody that's maybe not sure yet if Denver's the place for you, or maybe you've already identified that this is where you want to move to, reach out. I'd love to set up a Zoom call, just to spend 10 or 15 minutes with you, learn a little bit more about what is really important to you and hopefully find out a way that I can provide some value. So really looking forward to connecting with you. But as I said, let's get started. Here are some of my favorite neighborhoods close to downtown Denver. Let's go. And as a local, as a native, when I was a kid growing up, this was nothing but just industrial, just kind of gross. It just had no character to it. It was just a bunch of old, dirty buildings, industrial. Nowadays, it's one of the hippest places in all of Colorado to hang out. So RiNo has definitely done a complete 180 over the last 20 years. And if you're somebody that really likes to be in an area that is up and coming and edgy and hip and fun and trendy, definitely RiNo's your spot. It's a neighborhood that's known for its vibrant street art. Almost every street you walk down in RiNo, you'll see graffiti, tasteful graffiti, very professionally done, artistic, murals on the sides of buildings, all that sort of stuff, which is, in my opinion, super fun and just different and a very cool thing about RiNo. You can also find, because of that, a lot of art galleries, studios, and just different creative spaces and co-working spaces. So kind of going back to that up and coming, trendy, younger, more youthful neighborhood. So that's something that you're interested in. Definitely RiNo might be a spot you want to check out. It's also just home to a variety of a lot of other local businesses. So, restaurants, bars, a lot of breweries, home to some very popular cultural institutions like the Denver Central Market. It's a really up and coming popular food hall, features local vendors, kind of like food trucks, but indoors. If you haven't been to one of those before, this is a really fun one to check out. And also has the Denver Art Museum. So talk about crazy architecture. This building, just the building itself is just something you just need to almost stop and really totally take in, and definitely a fun spot to check out and take pictures if you're wanting to just admire some very eccentric but well done architecture. In recent years, RiNo has become increasingly popular with those young professionals because of a lot of the things that I just mentioned. Definitely considered to be probably Denver's most exciting and innovative neighborhood. Again, very good proximity to downtown Denver. So if you are still needing to go into downtown for work, RiNo is a fantastic place because of its close proximity. You could walk to work in most cases, depending on where you are exactly in downtown. Let's see, what else can I share with you guys about RiNo? Definitely a center, I would say, for the craft beer scene. So we have a lot of breweries, partially because of that industrial zoning area. So it makes for a really good location for a lot of the best breweries in Denver. A lot of these craft breweries, they just kind of call it home. And that's expanded now into whiskey and all sorts of different other types of alcohol and different drinks too. So Mile High Spirits is one of my favorites. If you want to talk a little bit about just the location from a map perspective, that's similar to what I've done for a few of these other neighborhoods. For RiNo, so for River North, you're going to be bounded by Broadway to the west, 38th to the north. You have the South Platte River again to the east, similar to a few of these other neighborhoods we've talked about, and Spear Boulevard will be to your south. So, and this, this neighborhood, it was historically a hub for industrial warehouses and factories, and one of the most prevalent or the most well-known was the American Can Company. And that was one of the largest employers in all of Colorado. And that was, something that was a staple for this part of Denver for a long, long time. In the late 1990s, maybe the early 2000s, that's when it really saw this transformation that I was talking about, where it really became this vibrant arts and culture district, and started to have all these different galleries and studios emerge and kind of take over. So again, if you were here 20 years ago, you wouldn't even believe it. Nowadays, people don't even really realize what it used to be. So they just think of it as this really up and coming and very unique place to hang out. So as far as the name RiNo, that name comes from the confluence of the South Platte River and the Cherry Creek. So that's how that name came about, River North. And it's definitely an area, a part of Denver that continues to see a lot of growth. So even though it's already transitioned and changed quite a bit over the last 20, 25 years, there's still a lot more to go. So you still see a lot of the new build construction that you'll see in the Denver area. A lot of it still is in RiNo. See a lot of big cranes and just big, large scale apartment communities being built. So in addition to some single family homes, I would say that RiNo has a very large percentage of homes being multifamily. So depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for a condo or a townhome, there are a fair amount of those. But just kind of keep your eye out when you're searching in RiNo and be aware of that the majority, or a good chunk at least, of the housing in RiNo is apartments, condos, that type of real estate. So other than that, I just wanted to share that the RiNo district is tending to be a little bit on the less expensive side compared to some. It's not quite as steep as Highland or Lower Highland, which is just right across the other side of Interstate 25. So depending on what's most important to you, some people will choose RiNo and others might choose Highlands or Low-High. If you prefer to be a little bit out of the craziness and some negatives that come with that, like maybe a little bit more of a homeless population, a little bit more panhandling, stuff like that, you might prefer to be over in the Highlands area, again on the west side of the interstate. If it's more important to you just to be really close to downtown and just really have that energy and that excitement of being right in the thick of it, RiNo would definitely be one of the spots you should be checking out. So they have some great festivals and events, especially in the summertime. A couple of them being the Denver County Fair. We have the Denver Arts Festival, and a really fun one to check out if you've never been to before is the Denver Chalk Art Festival. So you can walk around, and similar to all the graffiti and murals on the buildings, a lot of those same artists and similar vibe artists, they'll actually do something on the streets too, and have just amazing chalk art to check out. Some of it you wouldn't even believe. You can't even believe that's actually being drawn with chalk. So if you haven't been to a chalk art festival before, check that out. Can't remember what month it's in. I believe it's in either July or August. And then just back to just this vibrant community. RiNo's continuing to see more and more bars, breweries. There's a new music venue in the area, some more nightlife. Few of my favorites as far as local spots to check out. I would definitely, like I said a second ago, the Denver Central Market's fun. That's where they have similar to like a food truck, but indoors. You got Ratio Beer Works, The Source. You have another really popular one called Zeppelin Station. And then as far as parks go, we have a really cool Denver skate park. So if you're into skateboarding, rollerblading, any of those type of sports, the Denver skate park is very popular. You're always going to see a ton of people there. A lot of really good talent hanging out there. We have 4 Mile Historic Park. What else we have? We have Rail Yard Park. So quite a few parks, even though it is kind of in this industrial area, there is a lot of really accessible outdoor, healthy lifestyle places at your fingertips, even in this RiNo industrial area. So definitely check some of those out. As far as schools go, you do have the Denver School of the Arts and also the Denver School of Science and Technology. So you have a couple universities that are a little bit smaller scale universities, but because of that, you have some of the big brick buildings and university feel kind of areas within RiNo. Again, along with a lot of co-working spaces and just a lot of young professionals that choose RiNo to be their home base. So also just sharing with you guys some of the stats from the end of last year. So December 2022, the median home price was $601,000, so a little bit lower than some of the neighboring areas. Again, Highland and Lower Highland, you could almost throw a football and hit it just on the other side of I-25. So right next to RiNo, you're looking at almost a $200,000 less median home price in RiNo than you would see at Low-High. So a little bit more affordable. Average price per square foot about $530, and the average days on market was just a couple days longer than a few of these other neighborhoods. It was at 30. So kind of summing all of that up, if you're really looking for a vibrant place that has lots of young professionals and just lots of art and visually appealing buildings, really good restaurants, bars, breweries, all of that fun stuff that goes along with being in a more developing neighborhood and community, definitely check out RiNo, or also known as River North. Talk to you guys soon. Hopefully you got some value out of this, maybe even learned a thing or two with some of those history facts that I shared with you. But again, what I wanted to just leave you with more than anything is that I am a licensed real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. My name is Adam Lang with Adam Sells Denver and eXp Realty. I would love to connect with you. So even if you're not sure if Denver's the place for you, reach out to me. My phone number, my email, my website, everything's listed down here below. And just shoot me a message and let's connect. We can also set up like a quick 15-minute Zoom call and just get a chance to learn a little bit more about what your interests are and what is maybe motivating you to consider moving to the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. I would love to learn how I can provide more value to you. So with that being said, look forward to talking to you guys soon, and I'll see you on the next episode of Living in Denver. Talk to you then.